when we come to the point where we need to export a bibliography, we can use these three tools up here. So let's start off by selecting our items. When we click this, the export icon, we have the option of sharing our items or our bibliography in a number of resource description frameworks. This is primarily associated with professional publication or professional resource sharing, and we won't go into that right now. If you get to the point where you need these tools, then you'll be able to figure out how to use them in context. Let's go ahead and select one of these. So with this icon, so the one with the quotation marks, we can create an in-text citation. By default, it'll go to APA. They go by alphabetical listing, of course, but there are thousands of other styles available. So if we need another style, we can go ahead and click it. So with this citation, we can either copy to clipboard, so it'll be raw text to import into to go ahead and copy and paste into a document, or if we were working in a web environment, we could copy as HTML. Okay, so let's go ahead and select all of them again. When we want to export a bibliography, we can go ahead and click the books icon, and it'll generate a bibliography for us, again, according to the style that we choose. And again, we also have the option of copying as raw text to the clipboard or copying as HTML. Now, one of the things, a note of caution here, is we need to go over these items or this bibliography. Thing is that machine-generated bibliographies like this, so kind of the professional term for it, but database tools or whatever, they're always dependent on the input data. So there can be problems. And so we need to go through them. I like to tell students that they do 80% of the work for us, but we have 20% that we need to do. So looking at these, I see a couple things that are going to need to be adjusted here. This first one, for example, the biography and the dash will need to be taken out. It would just start better just starting off with Deborah Lakenhoff. In this second one, I see a couple of capitalization errors according to APA style. The words open, letter, restoration, and soul would need to be lowercase. On this one, Native American History and Culture Boarding Schools, African American Relief Council is now Northern Plains Reservation. All of this, I would reduce all of this to just boarding schools because that's the focus and kind of the title of that paper. So all of this was taken from the descriptive data for the website, but some of it is unnecessary. Looking at a couple more of these just to see if there's any other things that I would need to change here. Alrighty, again, so it does 80% of the work. We have to change things. One other thing is when we copy it, it's going to copy as raw text. So wherever we import it, we are going to have to change the indentation. So so small errors and indentation are going to need to be there. I also see a couple other changes here. Real, died, and off would need to be lowercase. Again, it does 80% of the work for us. That's not too bad. Now we can make these changes two ways. One, after we copy and paste it, we can make the changes there. So in the document. But another thing we can do is we can come into the descriptive data here And we can go ahead and make those changes here as we need to. Now for these two, the boarding schools and biography, right? So for these, I'd go ahead, whoops, that didn't take a minute. I would go ahead and make these changes here because I would never want those other pieces associated with it. This one, for example, the open letter, if I wanted to use this source in another project where I was citing with MLA, for example, I might want to go ahead and leave these simply because in a different context with a different citation style, I may want to go ahead and keep that, right? So let's go ahead and regenerate our bibliography. I'm just looking this over. This one looks better. Oh, I see another one here. Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. In APA, that would be, you know, this would need to be switched. That's one I can just go ahead and change in a document. But those are the two ways you can go ahead and make those changes when you're exporting a bibliography.